Here's what people aren't telling you about anxiety triggers. They're in your body, not in your mind. In this video, I'm going to explain why journaling, the counselling, the talking therapies, even though you've done all of these things, your anxiety is still there. And it's because anxiety can be a body-based problem, not a mind-based problem. So stick with me, I'm going to explain why this is, and I'm going to give you 3 easy-to-use techniques that you can use in under 60 seconds to address this. So let's talk about the 3 hidden anxiety triggers that I see all the time in high-functioning women. The first one, overbreathing. So when we overbreathe, when we're anxious, you might recognise the overbreathing, with mouth open, and we're breathing a little faster than normal. And you might think this is okay, and it's actually something that, we may have got into the habit of doing without really realising it. But what happens when we do this is we offload too much carbon dioxide from the body. And for the scientific among you, this is called hypocapnia. And what can happen with hypocapnia, so low carbon dioxide in the body, is this can send an alarm signal to the brain, to the amygdala part of the brain. Now, we're not even aware this is happening. So we'll be having this silent alarm going off in the brain because we're offloading too much carbon dioxide. We're not even conscious it's going on. So we get this sudden feeling of anxiety. And you might recognise this. You might have been out at events or something and you might suddenly think, why am I suddenly feeling anxious? What's going on? There's nothing to be feeling anxious about. Nothing's changed. And it could well be this overbreathing. I'm going to show you what to do about that in the second part of this video, so stick around. So the second hidden trigger that I see is what's called interoception and exteroception. I said that second one right. I often stumble over that second word, exteroception. So it just means internal and external. So what's going on here is often our internal feelings don't match our external environment. So again, you may recognise this. You may recognise times when you felt really anxious and you're in, you might even be sitting with your family in the lounge or somewhere where it's completely safe. So you're feeling this feeling of alarm or anxiety internally, but that's not matching what's going on in your external environment. There is no danger. So again, I'm going to show you what to do about that second one. And then the third thing, the final thing, which I'm sure we all recognise, are lots of micro stresses throughout our day. So phone goes ping, immediate answer required. Phone goes ping again. Email from someone that you need to get back to and you're just aware you haven't done it. List on the fridge that says you need to do this, you need to do that today. All these little stressors are starting to build up, and if we don't complete that stress cycle or we don't take a break from those, all these little micro activations, things that we don't even really register, over the course of a day, add until all of a sudden we suddenly become aware, because that level has been going up and then it reaches our awareness stage. And at that point we think, I'm suddenly feeling anxious, but that actually is not the case. That's been building and we've been unaware of it. So again, I'm going to show you how to address that really quickly in less than 60 seconds. Okay, so ready for those 3 fixes. So the first one, the overbreathing, hypocapnia. Remember this offload of carbon dioxide. Really easy, this one. We're just going to do little mini breath holds, and I would really recommend you actually try this when you feel anxious, because as I said, it's an unconscious thing. You won't be aware. You won't be going, oh, my amygdala is triggering, I must do some breath holds. You won't be aware it's going on. So just try these little mini breath holds and see how you feel. So we're literally going to inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose, just normally. When we get to the bottom of the exhale, we're just going to hold the breath for 3 to 5 seconds. So it literally looks like. Then we breathe again normally, and we exhale. And we just complete this cycle for around about a minute or so. Just do that for around about a minute, and then check in with your body again and see how you feel. The next thing, and I'm going to have to say the difficult word again, interoception and exteroception. See, I told you. Interoception. I'm not going to cut that out now because it proves my point. Interoception and exteroception. There we go. Okay, so what we need to do with that is we need to align our inner feelings with our outer world. What we need to do here is bring conscious awareness to the brain. You're triggering an anxious response in my body and my environment is safe. And I do this by what I call the scan and anchor method. So what we're going to do is we're going to scan our environment and we're going to find something. Oh, look, a convenient vase with some flowers in. Oh, I wonder if I put that there earlier. So we're going to scan the environment, we're going to find something, and we're going to look at that thing and really anchor ourselves to that thing. So we're going to really notice the vase, the flowers, and we can even say to ourselves as we're doing this, I am safe. So the other good thing with the scan and anchor method when you're anchoring is to have your feet flat and firmly on the floor, because it really helps to give the body the feeling of safety. So as I said, what we're doing here is we're bringing attention, conscious attention to the brain. This is what I'm feeling in my body. Look, I'm safe. We can feel safe in the body. So we're bringing safety back to the body. And then for the last one, the little micro stressors, I'm standing for this because we're going to do what's called a completion cue. So we're going to give the body the sign that that's actually finished now. So if we open the email, it's demanding an immediate reply, and we decide not to reply until later, what we can do when we put the email away is we can do, I'll give you a couple of little completion cues. So one thing we can do is a little inhale and a sigh. And that's just like saying to our body, that's done, that's finished, I'm moving on. So it's a little... Or we could do some shaking. So we could put the email to one side. We could literally shake out the feeling of that. Okay, now I'm off getting on with what I need to do next. So that's little micro cues to the body with these little micro stressors to just to signal completion, finished. So these are just 3 of the hidden anxiety triggers that I see all the time in the ladies and the women that I work with. And this stuff that I've just shown you on the video today is exactly what I teach in my membership and why I created the membership. So if you're interested in finding out more about my membership, I'd love to welcome you on board. I open my membership only once every 3 months so that I can properly welcome new members into the fold. There's a link below if you want to find out a little bit more about that. I really hope this video helped you today. Have a great day and thank you for joining me.